The Intel Arc B570 is the most sought after graphics card under $250 right now. Coming back more in stock and definitely more available than the B580, I decided to build a gaming PC around it as cheap as possible while still keeping the parts brand new, the best performance around it, while still keeping it aesthetic. This is the under $700 aesthetic all Intel gaming PC. Now the reason I went all Intel is because I can. You can still go with AMD, but we have something similar if not better performance, the i5-12400F. It is easily one of the best budget processors right now with 6 cores, 12 threads, great gaming performance, and similar to the Ryzen 5 5600X. Another big reason I picked the CPU is because I got it off AliExpress. Using a verified legit seller, I was able to get this for $87. Next up is the motherboard. I went for the ASRock B660M Pro RS because this often goes on an open box deal on Newegg. Technically open box isn't new, but this one sure looked like it. And yes, it works great. The original buyer probably didn't even use it, just returned it. And for me, it really didn't matter how good the motherboard is, but this one has everything you really need. It supports 14th gen even, 4 DIMM slots, PCI Gen 4, lots of USBs, pretty much everything. For the storage, I went for the Clev 1TB NVMe. This is Gen 4, which our motherboard supports, so it makes a great option, especially since this was the cheapest 1TB NVMe I could find on Amazon. So that's what I recommend for you, just whatever is reliable and the cheapest. Don't spend over $60. This might be a questionable one, but I went for the Clear 32GB kit on AliExpress. They have 3200 mega transfers and the CL rating is 22, which is the downside. But honestly, for the price, I think it's definitely worth it. You probably wouldn't notice the difference anyway. But the craziest part is that it's $35. So yeah, definitely worth it. And to cool the CPU, we have this standard ID cooling 120mm air cooler. This one is just usually the cheapest on Amazon. 4 heat pipes, in white, all we really need. And to make the PC look amazing, I picked up the Montech XR. Pretty much a go-to case for me, regularly around $63 on Amazon. 3 fans, high quality, no complaints other than I wish I had an RGB hub, but that doesn't really matter because our motherboard can control that via software. Powering this rig, we don't need much wattage, so here we have the 550 watt power supply from Superflower. I got this on an Amazon deal, but I'll link down the power supply I would have gone for, which is also cheaper. You don't need anything over 500 watts, but you're still going to want a power supply tier C or above on the power supply tier list. And a little hint of aesthetics are these cable extensions. I normally grab the ones from Formula Mod on AliExpress, as it's only $10 compared to the $20 ones it costs on Amazon. They are the same thing and might as well just save some money. And of course, the ASRock Intel Arc B570. Already mentioned it, but it's got 10 gigabytes of VRAM, does very well at 1080p. I also did test at 1440p, which you'll see how it performs there. Overall, it's 12% cheaper if you can get it at that $219 MSRP, 10% reduction in core counts, and 17% reduction in VRAM capacity and bandwidth, all compared to its bigger brother, the Intel Arc B580. But this one is more available and of course, cheaper. Now let me show you why you should buy this over the other competitors, the RX 6600 and the RTX 3050. Now to start us off, we have Marvel Rivals 1440p quality super resolution and at medium settings. It performs semi-decent, you know, the FPS isn't the greatest. Now with low settings, we get a little bit more FPS, but honestly, it's not that much different, and the quality also doesn't look much different either. Then at 1080p, however, we have much more FPS, definitely much more playable, and well, I'd recommend it there. Now with Cyberpunk's ray tracing low preset, we get an average of 72 FPS. Now without ray tracing but the ultra preset, we get even more with a whopping 74 FPS. Now obviously 1440p takes up a lot. Now with 1080p, we get a total of 101 FPS, which is much better. And I would take this as a W. The game still looks pretty good and definitely playable. Now in Black Ops 6 1440p balance, we got around 105 to 110 FPS. Then moving it down to 1080p, we got much more with 150 average FPS and well, a few good clips, you know what I'm saying. Oh. 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 Yeah, that was great. But now Fortnite, 1440p performance mode. Now it's all over the place. 200 plus, 300 maybe FPS. Definitely just enough FPS. There's nothing really to worry about here. I didn't even test 1080p because I knew it'd be plenty of FPS anyways. And that is all. I definitely recommend this PC actually. If you can get an Intel Arc B570 for around MSRP, then definitely go for it. 1080p is highly favored, 1440p is okay. If you can get this PC, definitely go for it. If you can't get this graphics card, definitely try out a similar competitor, an RTX 3070 used or an RX 6700 XT used. Other than that, new graphics cards kind of suck around this price point, so yeah. Subscribe.